Ice Cube says fear of Deion Sanders caused Shedeur Sanders to fall in the draft. They wanted to keep their jobs. When Shedeur Sanders tumbled to the 144th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, it sent shockwaves through the football world. Once seen as a potential first-round quarterback, the former Colorado Buffalo found himself slipping all the way to the fifth round and joining the Cleveland Browns. Among the many voices raising eyebrows was none other than Ice Cube. The rap legend and devoted Las Vegas Raiders fan couldn't hide his disappointment when his favorite team passed on Sanders. But more than just a fan gripe, Ice Cube brought a provocative theory to the table. "I wish we would have gotten Prime's son," Ice Cube said on Out of Pocket with RGIR. Bing. And I'll give you one more piece of feedback. Ice Cube said on Out of Pocket with RGIR, "Look, here's my theory on why he went in the fifth round. Anybody who drafted him may have been drafting the player that would get him fired. Primetime wants to coach his son in the NFL, so if there was a bad season, that coach would be gone, and Prime would be the coach. They were drafting in their best interest to keep their jobs." While that theory might sound far-fetched to some, it shows the broader narrative that Sanders' draft slide was about more than just game tape and analytics. The son of Deion Coach Prime Sanders, Shedeur, entered the NFL with not just talent, but a high-profile pedigree and immense scrutiny, making him both a media magnet and, potentially, the liability for any team afraid of being replaced by Prime himself. Potential starting role. Nevertheless, despite the perceived drama and disappointment, Sanders is doing what he's always done, grinding. Now in Cleveland, he's been buried on the depth chart, working primarily with the third stringers, but his presence hasn't gone unnoticed. Sanders hasn't made an impression, there's no doubt. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reported recently, ESPN's Sanders hasn't made an impression, there's no doubt. ESPN's current CEO, he's been fairly reported recently. There are reports over the years. The ESPN remains the most successful NBA team, offering a glimpse of hope that Sanders' effort might eventually translate into real opportunity. Yet not everyone is convinced that he's in serious contention for the starting role. During an appearance on the Nightcap podcast, former NFL wideout TJ Hosman Zad revealed what his source inside the Browns facility told him about the quarterback race. "I was told from somebody that is in the building that ain't a player, it's really coming down to Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel. That's what I was told," Hosman Zad said. But now, when you get the reports that Shedeur's completing 7 out of 9 passes, is it against starters or is it against the 3s and the 4s, the guys that are going to get released? So it seems impressive when you see the graphic, but is it really if it's not against the starters or guys that are going to be on the team? It started like any other morning in Los Angeles. The sun spilled over the hills, traffic buzzed along the 405, and Ice Cube sat at the mic of a morning radio show, calm but sharp as ever. Promoting the latest moves in his Big Three league, Cube was doing the rounds, talking basketball, business, and black excellence. But when the topic shifted to the NFL draft, and more specifically Shedeur Sanders, the temperature in the studio rose. They didn't pass on him because he can't play, Cube said, adjusting his Raiders cap. They passed on him because they're scared of what he represents. They're scared of Deion. A beat of silence followed. "You think coaches passed on Shedeur because of his dad?" the host asked, half smirking. Cube didn't flinch. "Yeah, I do." And just like that, the quote exploded. It had been one of the great mysteries of the 2025 NFL Draft. Shedeur Sanders, Heisman finalist, laser-arm quarterback, tactician with poise and polish, had dropped to the late first round, despite a resume that rivaled the top QBs taken before him. Analysts spun theories, questionable system, media distraction, lack of NFL reads, but none of it truly stuck. Cube's take? Simple, real, raw. They don't want Prime in their building, he said. They don't want him at practice, on the sidelines, in the press box. They know Deion ain't just a dad. He's a presence. He's power. He don't play politics, and that scares people who need politics to keep their jobs. It wasn't just another celebrity hot take. Ice Cube wasn't clout chasing. He'd spent decades building in industries where gatekeeping was as aggressive as any linebacker. He'd seen how power rattles insecure systems. And Deion Sanders, now one of the most influential figures in sports, didn't just bring a spotlight, he brought a floodlight on race, on leadership, on entitlement. They didn't want a package deal, Cube continued. They wanted silence, obedience. What they saw instead was a kid who played like a veteran and walked like a CEO, raised by a man who taught him never to bow. That's what they feared.